My name is Sandro Laureano. I am 44 years old. I am a welding technician and I provide training to a multinational company. The first contact I had with the Universal Church was through a TV channel where I saw a news report about an event that took place in the Maracanã Stadium and where pastors left the stadium with bags full of money. That was what the report said at the time. That caught my attention and I was outraged. People were gathered there to seek God and, supposedly, they were being deceived. They were being led to give money or to buy God. That was what it seemed like to me at the time. Another event that caught my attention and got me very angry was when Bishop Edir Macedo was arrested. That just confirmed to me what had been said on the news report, where the real objective of the Universal Church was to take money from people and not lead them to the faith. I was outraged. They presented to us an image that this was not a church. I used to work in a company where members and even assistants of the Universal Church worked there too. I remember that at the start of the working day, the company allowed us to pray beforehand. They would make a prayer and talk to us. They would invite us to go to the Universal Church. When they finished and everyone had gone to their working stations, I would go after people to tell them, "Look, that was all lies. They want to take your entire salary. Don't go because their objective is to take everything you have." So I really became a relentless persecutor. I did everything I could to go against them. Such hatred was born in me that I thought, I have to stop this church. Bishop had been arrested, but was released a few days later. I thought to myself, there is no justice in this country. He was on the news. He is robbing people and goes free. I felt like a vigilante. I had to do something. Then my father fell ill. We took him to the hospital and he began treatment. We invested a lot of money, but his illness had no cure through medicine. A moment came when the doctor said, "Listen, we did everything we could do. We tried every medication, but your father is going to die. Take him home because it is certain that he is going to die." Then I remember that assistants, probably or member of the Universal Church, went to my house. They said, "Listen, if he goes to the church, he can be healed." My mother believed them. My brother also believed them, but I didn't. I got angry and said, "No, he is not going to that place." I remember that a thought came to my mind. I would rather see my dad dead than go to the Universal Church. I was against it, but they went. I didn't go. I said, "I won't go. If you want, you can go by yourselves." And I also said, "And they will take everything we have. They will take the little money that we have, and Dad won't get healed." However, the opposite happened. I believe that through my mother and brother's faith, my dad was healed. Whenever I badmouthed the bishop, assistants, and pastors, it was as if something bad would happen to me every time. Today, I understand that when you rise up against someone who belongs to God, you are not rising up against that person. You are criticizing God Himself. God doesn't curse anyone. We curse ourselves, or we bless ourselves. So I became ill and had to take medicine. It was not a lethal illness, but I was a slave of medication. I had to take medicine every day. I had problems in my love life and marriage, many serious problems. I had suicidal thoughts, but I didn't think about seeking God. That was until I reached the point of sitting down with my wife and saying, "Let's get a divorce." My wife did not accept the divorce and started acting strangely. She was trying to kill herself. One day, she asked me to help her. She said, "Help me." And to make matters worse, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. I immediately remembered the Universal Church. I remembered. I thought, gosh, my dad was healed there. But I hid this from her. I just thought about it. I told her, well, let's go to a church. Let's find a church. I went to many other churches. I went to almost every church that I could go to. That was until there weren't any more, and only the Universal Church was left. I thought to myself, well, what am I going to do now? My prejudice was so great that I went to my bank account and saw that there was some money there. I took my credit card and thought to myself, I will take this to the Universal Church. Whatever they charge me, I will pay. My desire was to ask them, how much do you charge to heal her? Can I pay in installments? That was what I wanted to ask them, but I said, what do I have to do? My mind worked in a way that I thought he would give me a price, charge me, and she would be healed. To my surprise, the pastor said, listen, a blind person cannot guide another blind person. If you want to help your wife, you need to know God. That was shocking to me. I thought, why is he talking to me about God? I came here to solve my problem. Won't they charge me? Doesn't it work that way? I had never been to a Universal Church. I had prejudice, but I had never been there. I based myself on what I had heard about them. So, I noticed something different, and an inner conflict started. I thought, hold on, I wonder if those news reports were really true. I am being treated very well here, and no one has spoken about money yet. I started changing inside. That was when I started reading the Bible more. I went on to take part in more meetings. My eyes began to change and I started going deeper, spiritually. That was until one day I was seeking God during a meeting and I heard his voice. That was when God spoke to me. He said, look, when you persecute the church, you don't persecute the church itself. You persecute me, because the church you are going to, the Universal Church, is merely an instrument. I am the one who heals. I am the one who transforms lives. God spoke to me, and from that moment on, my vision changed completely. I was seeking God without asking for anything else. I was healed just by seeking God. I stopped taking medication. A complete transformation took place in me. And my wife, who was also doing the same things that I was, received the same transformation. Her desire for suicide disappeared. The cancer that was in her, it was visible. It was a lump. With a prayer, a single prayer, I remember that the assistant stretched out his hand and prayed. He said, "Be healed." And she was healed. It disappeared immediately. Then I understood what the pastor had said, that a blind person could not guide another blind person. When my eyes opened to the faith in God, I was able to help her. We were delivered from all the evil that tormented us. Our marriage was restored because we understood that when God comes, There is a complete and total transformation. God is a light and peace that truly transforms any environment or person. Our marriage was restored as well. I started seeing things differently, and I had inner peace. That was when God told me, "Listen, now I need you to be my witness." And I saw an opportunity to join the group of the Universal Church in prisons. I have seen many people in prison giving themselves to God with my own eyes. People who know me would say, "But tell me, how can you go to this church if you badmouthed it?" I remember that you would talk bad about it to me, but now you are there. Have you turned into a little Macedo as well? Today, I hear the things that I used to tell people. Now, I wear the shoes of the assistants that I used to persecute. I understand that when I said those things, they didn't hold it against me. I believe that they prayed for me, and this is what I do today. I pray for the people who persecute me. I want to send a message to those who are in the same situation that I was in one day. I would criticize, but I never went to church. So, overcome the prejudice, overcome it. Go and find out. See it with your own eyes. I was at the point of taking my own life, but the Holy Spirit came and saved me. The Holy Spirit gives us the will to live.